Yes. Welcome back to the episode of Grows Not Show. Today, it's me, it's Matty, it's Camille. You know the drill. We're here to chat shit. I actually regret we're in the city now. It's really warm, but it's fine. We'll firm it. I'll just sweat a little bit. Soaking wet. 212, soaking wet. Camille, how's your week been, bruv?
Fuck you. You always have to start with me, don't you, bro? I'm fucking stressed.
Matty, how's your week been, mate?
Oh, how's okay? Oh, you always have to start with an object. It's actually been.
Fuck you. I'm talking about my week.
It's been really good. I mean, we went to what I've literally forgot where we went. Manchester. There you go. At the weekend. Got locked out of EP. Was gonna go to Pure Gym, but then got let in. Had a good time. It was really, really good. The kit in there was fantastic. I don't know if we want to talk about interesting experiences there or not, so I'll just leave it out for now.
We'll circle back to it.
Yeah, we'll circle back to it. But yeah, it was really good. It was really good. We're actually growing some legs, so that's all right. But this week has actually been fantastic for me. I think you guys partially might be able to relate to this, or definitely can relate to this. But in the past, it's pretty difficult managing a relationship and stuff like that. With this job, very, very hard, very, very demanding. There's some 9-to-5 worker sitting there like, oh, you're just on your laptop all day. Yeah, like shut up. But anyway, this week I probably have managed my relationship the best I ever have. Like I can feel it moving leaps and bounds, which is really, really good. And yeah, I haven't had to go to some bullshit couples therapy, so that's a good idea. I hope not at this age. But yeah, it's been really, 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 really good. How about I'm going to ask Jack now, so Camilla has more time to prep.
Oh, cold. So we went to Manchester, which was a lovely little trip out, which was a laugh. Matty fell asleep on the sofa. Bless him. Fucking hell, what a trip. And then beyond that, things have been pretty much smooth sailing. I've got a few little twinges at the minute, which I'm managing. And the MBW this week, MBW and PCA both dropped when their shows are. So I've got like 4 or 5 calls now for prep plans for next year, which is cool. Actually, there's a few more people I need to pull onto calls. No, I wouldn't say it on the pod, but Camille, remind me to message you something after this. But yeah, I'm trying to think what else has been going on. I've changed up my routine. I'm waking up a little bit earlier. I'm going for a walk, and I feel very refreshed for my check-ins. And I'm trialing no caffeine as well, which is a little bit weird, but blood pressure is even better than good, which is great. It's been fucking superb. And I do feel more consistently like I feel like there's less ups and downs to my day. Instead of feeling like a 10 and then a 0, like I felt like a 10 during the day and then I crash after work, I feel like a 6 out of 10 and my sleep is better. So we'll see if I keep this up, but so far it's going good. So yeah, that's been my week. Camille.
Okay. It's been a really good week. Like gym wise, I think this like phase that we're in right now has been like by far the most productive phase. One, just from the standpoint of like clearing injuries. My body just feels fucking amazing when I train. And like a big contributing factor to that is like we finished up my lower body rehab. My hips feel like they're made of titanium. And we really upped the dose on the upper rehab. And like I've just noticed like my pressing and pulling just feels so much better. It feels even. It just feels like it's meant to actually feel. So that's really, really cool. And like I hack squat 5 plates, and I actually hack squat 5 plates. I didn't ego lift it. Like it was a really, really good set. So I was fucking really, really proud of that. Obviously, as discussed, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. I did low-key post it on my story, Jack, so I'm sorry. But definitely looking at some shows next year.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we could say that you're doing shows. That's all good.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So we're looking at PCA in September, which gives us about 6 months of prep lean weight, which actually at first it was a bit daunting because I was like, me 6 months in a prep already being like decently lean as I am now. I was like, mate, I'm going to be fucking peeled. But I think the way Jack kind of explained it, having more time, like if we do have any hiccups, we can always hold the look if I get too lean too quick, which is actually a positive. It's not a negative, because I viewed myself getting too lean too quick as a negative, being like, oh yeah, I'll flatten up. It's not like that. at all. We actually want me to get too lean too quick because we can just hold the look. And also, like from a posing standpoint, obviously it gives me and Matty a lot more time to work together. I mean, what September next year is going to be 10 months altogether if we start posing now, which is like a considerable amount of time. You know, if we do even 2 calls a week, it's going to be like a good dose of posing, like Matty said in his first reel, which was really fucking cool. But you want to start posing as soon as you can, really. You know, you spend all these years fucking developing a physique, but I don't want to look like Bambi on ice on stage. So yeah, I can feel the prep demons almost like whispering in my ear, being like, oh, you know, you're not big enough, or like you're not ready, you know, mentally you're not there, you know, are you going to be able to manage this with a job, etc., etc. But I remember so well, like the previous prep, those prep demons, they're always going to be there. So you either just suck it up, bite your lip, and just crack on with it, and just tell them to shut up, or you give into it mentally. And the biggest difficulty about prep isn't the doing, it's the mental side of things. So, like I said, preparing myself mentally, slowly, just being like, just do, don't think, that sort of mentality, and just like to put all my faith in Jack. That's kind of the approach that I'm going with. Like, I don't really, like, even like from the call that I had with Jack today, I was already like questioning a lot of things. I was like, oh yeah, maybe we can do an untracked a week, like cut quickly. Jack was like, no. Yeah.
Oh, bro, yeah. All right. Can I talk about that message, because that did make me giggle.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, all right, sound, because like fair play, like I could tell the prep head wobble was getting to you. I gave Camille a bit of it was this morning, wasn't it, the bit of the pep talk?
Yeah.
I got a message off Camille being like, oh, can we run one untracked a week in prep, because I responded so well to it. I was like, brother, no. No, it's not happening. It's not happening in prep. But yeah, I think, you know, that's the thing. It's like, it's easy when you're in prep. It's funny how your brain will flip things that normally would be a positive into a negative, where like you'll be like, oh, I'm a busy coach year round, that's great. In prep, that's scary. Like, oh, I've got a loving relationship year round, that's great. In prep, oh god. You know, if it's like I can diet quite quickly, okay, year round, that's sick. But then as soon as it gets to prep, it's like, fuck, what if I diet too quickly? What if I get flat? Am I going to feel shit? Am I going to go hypo? Like, all of those things that you have kind of going for you, you then quite quickly turn into negatives. It's like the same with and I think, Camille, this might be something that you struggle with a little bit, so I think it'll be something to definitely manage with you through prep. When you've got a lot of people saying you're going to do fantastically and you've got a lot of pressure on you, it's easy. It's easy, especially when you're having a bad day. That can propel you on a bad day, but on a really bad day, it can just make you feel worse. And I remember one of the reasons why I wanted to keep my 2025 prep potentially secret is because I didn't want, because obviously my clients are going to gas me up because they're my clients. I don't want people to do that, because I don't want that additional pressure of like expecting a certain outcome. I just want to show up as best as I can on the day, and it can be difficult dealing with that pressure. So I think, again, even in prep, something like, oh, you look good, can turn into a negative, you know.
No, I actually relate to that. So I relate to that so much. Like, you could literally like fight you. I think a lot of people, I think it comes from that kind of like victim mindset. A lot of people get in prep, like they just turn everything negative. Like, it's like, oh no, you know, I'm going to the gym. Oh wait, I have to literally get in my car and drive there, and that's a task. It's like, it's easy to turn that into a negative. But I mean, I was talking to Camille before this because I could tell he was a bit nervous as well. I'm also nervous at prep. Everyone's nervous at prep. You know, you would be lying if you wouldn't say you've got a little bit of eyes on you, being, you know, a slight like, as a coach, you've got eyes on you. Even your clients will have eyes on you, right? Even if they're not that bothered about bodybuilding. So it's quite easy to fumble under that pressure. But like I said to you, Camille, before, like I was like, a lot of anxiety comes from knowing that you're underprepared, and you're taking like the necessary steps right now. Like, you're getting opposing coach, you've got Jack, and you're going to be running through, like, you've done a detailed call. You're going to be preparing yourself, you know, this early on, as you should be, and you'll get to that day, and instead of being anxious on that day, you might have a little bit of, you know, you're getting up you know, in front of people with a thong on, which you might have done before but might not have. Yeah, at the end of the day, that's scary, but you should feel excited for that, and you will, because you're gonna fucking smash it, mate. It's gonna happen. It's a certainty.
Yeah. I remember when we went for the tanning, when I did my photo shoot prep, and we go downstairs where it's a female like beauty salon, right? And me and Jack walk in. Obviously, like, I'm fucking hollow cheek. Jackson is like bodybuilder clothes. We're just sitting like 2 8, and then we get asked to go down into the tanning room. And she's like, right, like you can wear your pads and we can just tan around it, or like I can give you like a stringer, because I was like, well, I'm gonna put my posing trunks on for the photo shoot. I might as well just put the G-string on. She gives me this G-string, and I shit you not, it was a piece of fabric probably about this big, and then a string that goes around like this.
Yeah.
I put it on. My balls were hanging out. Like it just about covered the tip of my penis, but my balls were hanging out. And then I get into this chamber and I can just see Jack just looking at me, just fucking creasing, because she's like on her knees, like right, like probably 2 inches away from my bollocks, bro, just going like this with the gun. And like she'd hit like a specific spot on my quad, and I like twitched because I'd be like really fucking cold, and I could just hear Jack giggling in the background. That was an interesting experience, to say the least. But yeah, it's one of them things. Jack said it perfectly. Like that's just bodybuilding. Like I doubt anyone actually enjoys it, but it's just part of the process. Do you know what I mean? Like you just fucking crack on with it. Like
Yeah, 100%, man. I remember looking at your quad, freaking out, and like it would literally, like you said, like. She would spray something. It's spray tan is fucking freezing, and she'd spray it, and you just see like this feather or like this like kind of almost small spasm like dance from like your VMO up to like your fucking hip flexor. It was crazy. It looked sick. It was sick as fuck though. I can't lie. But yeah, good
Don't
time.
lie. You were just laughing at his ball being out.
I kept being like, "Do you want me to? You know, I can. Do you want me to?
I'll hold him. I'll hold him."
Yeah, that was a fucking hell, that was a good time. But to be fair, like if you go to most tanning places, they have experience with like bodybuilding and photo shoots and stuff like that. Like a lot of them get it, particularly where we were wasn't too out the way. Like it's a fairly dense area, so there will be stuff going on. I mean, I don't mind saying it was St Albans, and there is a PCA that runs in St Albans, so like they'll have seen it before. You know, people book private tan all the time, so it's not anything too weird for you. It's just, you know, it's not weird for them, it's weird for you. You know, it's the same as like doing photo shoots, glazing people, or like backstage glazing people, like as in rubbing glaze on them, not just like hyping them up. And like I remember one of my clients, Charlie, apply glaze. Yeah, you look great. Yeah, you look great. But one of my clients, Charlie, was going through a photo shoot, and I was glazing him. I just got to it, and he was like, "This is proper weird." And I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, sorry. Like, this is probably quite weird for you, isn't it? Like, you're here like in your pants, and I'm just like rubbing you're fucking the inside of your leg with like olive oil spray, or like, you know, rubbing tan and trying to get patches of tan off, or I'm like spraying down near someone's crotch." But I remember the first time I did it, I was like, "Oh, is it okay if I do this?" And now I just get in there, mate. Just get in there.
So you started with consent and then went away from it. Nice one, mate.
Yeah, it's in the client disclaimer when they sign up. It's like, if you do a photo shoot, bear in mind we'll both be naked. So it's needed. It's essential.
Look, if you hear grunting, it's okay. It's part of the process, bro.
It's part of the
process. Calm down.
It's all part of the glazing.
That's part of the glazing, bro. Yeah, exactly.
More to give.
Oh Christ! Should
More
we?
to give.
Right. Fuck it out. Should we talk about? We kind of already said the name of the gym, but should we talk about the gym that we went to on Saturday and what happened?
Okay.
Because
Who wants to start it off?
I'll start off.
Yeah.
Listen, it was was it EP Jungle? Yeah, it was it was an interesting experience, to say the least. I think we were all pretty gassed to go. I mean, you know, we're fucking bodybuilders. Like, we like trying new gyms, we like fucking trying new pieces of equipment, and we like trying new environment. I think at first glance, obviously, the main sort of takeaway that we all kind of agreed on was like the environment, like the people in there were a bit weird. But now, having put more thought behind it,
Don't say it like that. It was just like one
right,
guy.
Okay. Let's hang on. Camille, you're gonna.
Yeah.
This is a very
First of all, the gym was mint. Can we just say this before anything? The gym was mint. The gym was absolutely perfect. Like the equipment was sick. Like, if you went to go something, there was enough equipment to go. Especially considering it wasn't like a massive. It's not like an Ultraflex. Like, it had like some really really good kit. Some stuff I've never actually seen before. And the owner, was an absolute sound guy for letting us in. Considering like
So
you talk about this. You talk about this.
Wait. No, Camille, you finish. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell you what, Camille, if you give a brief rundown of your reflective thoughts on the whole, and then Matty, if you tell the story from where we got up to, like the whole event, and then I'll like I don't know, I'll say something else. But Camille, give your thoughts overall, because you were going to give a little summary there. Go for it, mate.
I love how like both of you have to jump in to prevent us getting cancelled. Like, Camille, shut up, stop speaking.
This is a good gym. This is a good gym.
Okay. Before I continue, it was a fantastic fucking gym. It really, really good. Well, fuck you, bro. Let me finish. Yeah, it was a really good gym, and I personally had a really, really good session. We obviously got cut off time-wise towards the end, which again wasn't their fault at all. That was more an us problem. And would have loved to spend a bit more time in there, but I think the environment didn't do it justice, because we went at a time that it was dead. We went on Saturday at like 6 p.m. So the main kind of takeaway was there wasn't many people in the gym, and we had a bit of a strange interaction with an individual there that kind of lowered the mood for all of us. Again, it's not the gym's fault. It's more so the people that go to the gym. The actual gym itself was fucking fantastic. The kit was really good. The posing room was absolutely phenomenal. The best posing room I've ever seen so far. Much better than the ones in Ultraflex. So I think long term, it would definitely be a gym I would consider going to. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Long term, it would definitely be a gym I would consider going to. But the only thing that would kind of play around with me is like the timings of day. So like, I think it shuts off at 9 p.m. if I'm correct.
It was on a Saturday. I don't know about the weekdays. Was it the same?
I'm actually not sure, to be fair. We should have checked at the end of the day.
I'm a bit of a nocturnal creature myself. I do really enjoy training at night, so maybe it could be a limiting factor. Maybe I just need to grow up. But like generally speaking, I think there's other gyms in the vicinity that we definitely need to check out as well, which were pretty cool, which we kind of looked online. So that would be a good shout. But like I would be more than happy to train there consistently. Yeah, same. I mean, it was like Jack, you would agree. It was a pretty fucking good gym. Like you can't say it's not. Yeah. Like it was really, really good.
Objectively, a fantastic gym. Like, I mean, the space was lovely. I think it was organized quite well. So like, you could kind of like, there's a pressing section, there's a back section, there's a leg section, but like within one room. So it's not like, sometimes gyms kind of do that, but then not properly, and it's a bit weird. Like Ultraflex, I love you, especially Rotherham, but my God, your kit is just everywhere. It's all over the shop. It's like, there's a kind of leg section, and then it goes to like sort of chest and back, but then there's also an adductor there, and then they've also thrown a hip thrust. It's like, what are we doing? Anyway, I digress. But yeah, it was laid out well, and I think the fact that like the hours are relatively long, like it's not 24-hour, but they're relatively long hours. It's not too bad. I've definitely seen worse hours. But yeah, Matt, do you want to tell the story of like how we got there?
Yeah, so I'll start. We went to an Airbnb, right? So we all got there quite late in the day because obviously we're all traveling from different places, and Paul Camille's coming all the way from Scotland, so yeah, decently far, a little bit of a trek. Can't get your steps in, but like it was good. So we traveled from the Airbnb to EP. Wasn't that long? What was it, like a 30-minute drive or something like that? I can't remember. Yeah, but like we got there and we were all like really, really excited, and we get to the door and we're like, oh shit, yeah, we have to actually buy the day pass online. Well, we knew we were going to buy the day pass online. And you'd think if they had day pass online, they would have like an obvious thing saying like, don't buy outside of these hours. Like it would be obvious, right? That's one of them things that you put very, very obviously, because that's what other gyms do. So we're like, oh shit, we can still buy it. So we got it. And then we got a code. We got a code for the, the outside door. So we're like, oh shit, we can definitely be like in if they're sending out a code for the outside door. So we went in. And then there was a second door, and we were like, okay, we'll try the same code. And it just didn't work. And we were like, well, shit. So from there, we were all waiting for like another email to come through and stuff like that. And this lovely member came over and was like, are you guys trying to get in? Because like, you're not normally allowed in or something like that. I can't remember what she said, but she was like, oh yeah, no one's at the desk. Which was quite obvious because fucking, there was no one there. So I don't know why she said that, bless her. But then she was like messaging the owner and stuff like that, which was really, really nice of her. And we kind of waited there a long time, and some people came past us, and one person was like, well, I'm not going to say his name, but yeah, he came past and was like, oh yeah, you're definitely not getting in now. So we were like, oh yeah, well, fuck off, because this guy knows what he's on about. So we get in the car, and then Camille, like as we're going to go to find another gym, Camille goes, oh shit, I just got a message from the owner. It was like, oh, perfect. So this lovely guy or woman, I don't know if it was a guy or woman, I have no clue, let us in and gave us a code and stuff like that. And I struggled to put it in, for fuck's sake. But we got in eventually. And I mean, like it was a very, very good session. We had lower. I got absolutely strength mogged on every single exercise, which was fun. But yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting experience. But Jack, do you wanna talk? That kind of gets us into it. Do you want to talk about the experience?
Yeah, so we were training along, and then there was this one member, and I mean, to be fair, like, I'm going to preface this by saying I don't think he was entirely like on the same page of us in terms of like what he was talking to us, and it was a bit of a buzzkill, and I don't think he knew he was being a bit of a buzzkill. But yeah, he just was like kept talking to us like when we were clearly trying to do sets, which is frustrating. And was just kind of being a bit weird and off-putting, and like me and Camille were talking about potentially moving, and he got very weird about that, and it was very weird and off-putting. And if you're listening to this podcast, you might be like, okay, cool, so it's just one weird guy, why does this really affect like the whole trip? Because he then started being like, oh, you know, gym shuts at 9, if you stay longer you get put on the Instagram, which I was like, okay, sure, whatever. And then I was like, oh, but the owner might put you on Instagram anyway for grunting and yelling, and then immediately did a set and started yelling. And
I was dying. I was trying not to fucking die when he did that.
It was weird. I don't know how to put it, because whenever I've retold this story a few times to people, because they're like, oh, how was Manchester? I was like, yeah, it's good, but the gym was weird, or like the gym was a weird experience. And like I don't quite know how to like put into words, just like there was something about the tone and the way that he said it. It hit all of us. It immediately just ripped the wind out of our sails. Like, we're just training, and just like we're not really screaming our heads off or anything. We're just kind of training. And yeah, it just felt very like kind of a bit cliquey, a bit like, oh, round here, here's how things are. And particularly because before he was getting a bit weird about us talking about like being there or moving there, he just kind of was a bit like, yeah, we don't really want you here, you're not really like welcome, you're training wrong. And then we were leaving like 2 minutes to 9, and he was still just chilling like halfway through a session. And so there it's like, we're kind of, I think it was you, Camille, was like, I think he just wanted us gone. It's like, I don't know if he wanted us gone. I don't know if he knows the owner. I don't know if he's just like exaggerating how bad things are. If it's like, yeah, the owner doesn't actually care, just like the lights turn off, and if you get injured, then whatever. But you know, it's just it was just very weird and off-putting. And so the entire session, there was a little bit of a vibe of like being watched. It was a little bit like in an old cowboy movie when the guy walks into a bar and everyone turns around and looks at them. It was a bit like that. It was kind of like people were just kind of a bit like, oh, who are you? You're new. And yeah, I mean, other than that, like just the atmosphere was a little bit off. But other than that, it was a fantastic gym, and on paper it was great. And the woman that we spoke to was lovely. And there was that guy, that big fucking guy who like was competing. He seemed pretty sound. It was just, yeah, like a general kind of vibe of like unwelcomeness, which I won't say who, and I won't say what other gym, but someone told me. I was talking to someone local to that gym about gyms, and they were like, oh no, I recommend EP and not another gym. I was talking to them, hey, what do you think of this other gym? And they were like, no, go to EP, it's much friendlier. The other one you're thinking of is really cliquey. And I was like, oh, interesting. Like it was kind of, it felt like the other way around. But yeah, I think the experience with not getting let in, that guy being a bit weird, the gym shutting earlier than we'd planned, we kind of rushed like 30 seconds of posing. It just, yeah, was a little bit like weird and discouraging. And also, to be fair, he was like shitting on us for doing a long leg day, which is a very weird thing to shit on someone for. I feel like if anything, it's like I'd shit on someone for doing a short leg day. Do you know what I mean? But anyway.
Well, yeah, he was like, if the guy's listening, like it was absolutely, we might have got your tone wrong, but it was very like, if 3 people are getting the same tone from someone, that's probably an issue with them and how they present themselves. Like it was it was an interesting like kind of way of putting things, like mentioning like gentrifying and stuff like that. Like that's just not something you say, like almost insinuating someone's too rich or too poor to be in an area. Like it just doesn't make much sense. And then talking about roids and talking about grunting, it's like, yeah, you're going to get a negative impression of that person. So if you're listening, I doubt you are, but if you are listening, that's kind of why we thought that. And maybe we misput it. And, you know, sometimes you have that interaction with someone and you said the wrong things by accident. Maybe you went home and was like, oh, shit, maybe I should have said that. But, you know, I doubt it. But, you know.
It was weird. Yeah, I don't know how to put it. Like, as he was saying it, I was kind of like, I kind of felt like a bit of a, like, I felt like, you know, kind of the wind being taken out of my sails.
Yeah.
And I looked across to Matty and Camille, and literally I just saw the same thing on their faces, and I was like, oh shit, like this is not just me here. Yeah, it was very, I really can't like describe the way it was. It was just the whole conversation was just very like, I think the undertone that the conversation gave is, I don't want you here, we don't want you here, you're not really welcome, and the things that you're doing are wrong and incorrect. And like, when you're that deep into a leg day and you're a bit tired and knackered and you've traveled for a long way just to train at that gym, it is like a real big punch in the face.
Yeah.
When you do eventually get to that gym that you've been excited to go for, the whole day has been about that. The whole trip is about that. Us seeing each other, but also this specific gym and trying it out. It is just like quite a, yeah, it is like you kind of get the rug pulled out from under you a little bit, you know?
Yeah, the thing that got me, and Camille will agree with this. I mean, Camille was deadlifting a fucking stupid amount of weight. It was like 200 kg or something like that. And he was saying about grunting and yelling. I'm not being funny. It's a bodybuilding gym. What bodybuilder is going to fucking lift that really quietly? You can't just, it's not a library at the end of the day. Like, I understand that, like absolutely screaming off your head and being like, like no, for no reason. But, you know, there's a difference between grunting because you're letting out effort or like, you know, doing something that's hard, and just needlessly screaming. And Camille wasn't needlessly screaming or shouting. He was grunting at the top of reps, like, or as he was coming up. Like, that's not. And then it was just the backhandedness of him doing it and then getting into a lat pull down going, I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. I think I see a lot of bodybuilding gyms just moving in a really weird, specific direction away from like bodybuilding. And like, I just don't really, I don't know. I just don't understand it. Like, yeah, there's people that take the piss with grunting, but they kind of just like, they get stared at anyway for being a melon. But like, if you try and turn a gym into a library, it's like, who is that for? Because when I'm training, I'm never like, oh, how dare you grunt? I don't really know if anyone's grunting in my set. If I'm out of a set, I don't give a shit what goes on. And if I'm in a set, I don't know what the fuck is, I don't know what anyone else is doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've never been in a leg press and been like, oh, yeah, fucking, what, like 6+ plates aside, but I'm thinking about what fucking Joe Schmo's doing across the room. Like, no, I'm focused on like what I'm doing. But yeah, I think, I don't know, it's weird. Again, it falls under that category of like when people say bodybuilding gym, but no posing room, and then you can't pose in the gym pins are banned, or like you can't grunt, like those kind of, that trifecta right there, that little fucking trilogy of shit makes me go, fuck this gym. Like, especially the gym pin one, man, because how heavy a machine is so arbitrary. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, it's like, it just is as heavy as however many plates they stack on it. So if that's not enough plates, then that's not enough plates. And now I can't use your kit. I don't know. Grinds my gears.
I think the grunting thing. Yeah, sorry, you could go, Camille. We've been yapping.
It just gives like gym politics vibes, and like I think we can all agree on like when you go to the gym, it very much is, as selfish as it sounds, it's about you, and like it's about you. You're getting in there to do a job, right?
Yep.
And the last thing that I need to be thinking about before I do a heavy set of hinges is making a bad impression on the people around me, or like people looking at me and feeling like just think about anything but the set, basically. And that's kind of what it was giving. It's like gym politics. It's like, you know, we've come down a very long way. We're obviously looking forward to the gym. We've not come here to terrorize anyone. We've not come here to fucking break the kit. We've come here to try the gym out, enjoy ourselves, and be bodybuilders, which is what that gym is about. And like this whole like notion, what you're saying, Jack, of like gyms moving towards like the no gym pins, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Like you're so right. It just screams like science-based lifting. I feel like people are just pussing out of training now, and like they're just making like next thing you know, it'll be like you can't do lat pull downs, you can only do kino flaps, bruv. Like,
Yeah,
I
think. Yeah, you go, Jack. Go.
Sorry, I was just gonna say all of it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I get that you don't want posing in the gym, but if you're marketing yourself as a bodybuilding gym, and these gyms do it, they'll focus on bodybuilding, and then either not have a posing room, which I completely understand isn't always possible, but then they won't allow posing in a gym. And it's like, if you don't want posing in the gym, please do not market yourself towards bodybuilders. Like, with respect, a powerlifter or someone who's strength focused or someone who's just generally into the gym does not care that you've got a Mark 1 versus Mark 2 Cybex hack squat, right? They're just like, oh, squat machine, right? So if you're trying to be that gym, why the fuck are you then getting funny about posing? And it's the same with like gym pins as well. If you're going for an audience of people who want to use really good kit, there's going to be people who are too strong for the stack of that really good kit. And so therefore they need to add more weight. And that's perfectly fine. Like some of my favorite pieces of kit, like the fucking Nautilus low row, you know, the pin loaded single arm one. Oh, sorry, the isolateral one. Amazing. Way too light. Like way too light, but amazing piece of kit for anyone who's like decently into like assisted bodybuilding. You're going to need some kind of help or some kind of like, you're going to need something else on that stack. So again, it's just like, it just doesn't make sense. It's like you're advertising yourself as something and you're getting kit for people who are strong and want to pose, then you're not allowing that. And then those people who are strong are also probably going to make noise when they lift because they're strong, and therefore you're not allowing that. Again, it's just like, why, if you don't want that gym environment, just have matrix kit and just be a leisure center, just be a generic gym. Why are you trying to cater towards people? Why are you spending so much money on marketing and branding and stuff to be this idea and getting in all this kit just to then not cater to those people? It's just fucking weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like 5 phrases and then we'll move on from this because we've yapped about gyms for ages, haven't we?
Gyms.
But the thing that because I'm not that strong. I'm not like you guys. I'm decently strong, but I don't need to gym pin everything, right? But the thing that really pisses me off about the things we're saying is grunting. Like, it's context specific, right? If someone, like, everyone just hears a grunt and goes, like, I'm sure a lot of like kind of, you know, gen pop people hear kind of like a grunt and go, oh, that guy's a dick. But if you just look at the context, like, if someone's grunting doing like 200 kg barbell back squats, I'm gonna be like, well, that guy could just break me in half. So cool. Like, I'm not gonna have a go at him, and you shouldn't have a go at him because he's fucking grunting because he's, you know, doing maximal exertion. But right, there we go. I'm gonna hold your balls when I say this. If you are grunting, doing lateral, if you're bringing your inner demons out for bicep curls or lateral raises, just, you know what, just you deserve to have anything thrown at you. I'm not even joking. Like yeah, there's them people. Oh yeah, hang on, let me just look through my ex's messages for my one set of cuffed Keenan flaps. Please, I need to summon everything. Oh, man. Anyway, that's me done.
All right, should we briefly talk about today's topic, which is mistakes or fuck ups that we've made as coaches?
Oh, we've made. Okay, I thought you meant just general coaching mistakes. Yeah,
we've made them. All right, does anyone want to start off?
Yeah, I've got a good one. So recently, this is the most recent mistake that I made, and I've been working through some TCT stuff, and the biggest thing is, like, you don't realize something's a mistake until like you stumble across something and you're like, fuck, like that really made me open my eyes. And what made me open my eyes was something that Big Jack was talking about, or Little Jack, I should say, meant physique Jack. I hope he doesn't watch this. But something he was talking about was like mindset towards business, and that's something that I've really slacked on. I'm too emotional as a person and in business. If something doesn't go my way in business, that is a huge mood killer, and it'll prevent me from like further doing more work. perfect example of this is with leads, right? I'll get a lead come across. I'm like fucking so gassed. I'm like, oh my God, I got a consultation call. It doesn't go my way. Okay, I'm sad. And then that will put me in a down mood, which might affect my productivity or the quality of the work that I'm doing. So something that I am now working towards is like actually developing my mindset, being stoic with the business, actually like not getting too excited when things go well and not getting too sad when things go bad, because at the end of the day, business is business, and I can't mix business with emotions, because how I feel day to day will have a negative impact on me being able to perform and run the business effectively.
Yeah, fair.
I can
Jack,
see
have
that.
you got one? I've got one. If you haven't got one, Jack.
No, you go for it, mate.
Okay, so
Yeah.
probably with me, majority of people or the people I coach are kind of lifestyle people. I think the biggest one I've found, especially towards the start, is I almost was afraid to push people, and I think that's one that a lot of younger coaches can relate to. So like, I would like previously, I'm not going to name names, but like I kind of had clients where I put in so many preventative measures to make things easier for someone that they didn't understand kind of what hard work was. And when you got to the last half of diets and stuff like that, they weren't willing to put the extra effort in because I started them off too easy. I think now, very much, obviously it's all context dependent, but I'm not afraid of, pushing, it makes more sense as well, pushing, cardio, or pushing, actually like bring down calories at the start of diets where someone's the most fresh, starting with quite a high energy flux, diet. I don't like the word diet, but you know what I mean. And then moving to lower food, lower expenditures towards the end, rather than the other way around, because honestly you're just making it harder for a lot of people, especially lifestyle clients. Like, they've got the energy, they've got the drive to do it at the start. They're not bodybuilders. They don't have that drive all the way through. They've got that kind of motivation. This is all context dependent, because there are some people who are fine with it, but they don't have that drive to be like, I'm going to do my extra 10K steps at the end of the day. When they've just had a full 9 to 5 and their missus had a go at them. Like, you need to that's when you bring in the preventative measures rather than right from the start. So that's my probably mistake I used to make.
I love that one. I'm gonna go for kind of two and one. And I thought about that. I thought about this morning because it was something that I was doing that I definitely didn't used to. I'm going to go for not calling people out for showcasing warning signs, or not calling people out for showcasing poor communication. Essentially, just the best way I can put it, because it's kind of a 2-in-1, is thinking this is a concern, or I think we should do this or this, or having some kind of thought in my head as a coach and just not conveying that to the athlete in the way that I should. So, for example, I have one client at the minute who she's incredibly busy. Communication is poor. As a younger coach, because I'm an unk, I would have been thinking, okay, so this person's showing poor communication. That's not good. It might mean that there's issues going on. I don't know if something's going to go wrong. They might not check in. There's a lot of uncertainty there. Therefore, I'm going to go out of my way to message them, right? Whereas now I just cut out the middleman. I just say to them, I'll be like, hey, look, you're really not communicating a lot. Are you okay? I want you to communicate more. Your goal is to send me more messages throughout the week because I'm not hearing enough from you. So instead of just thinking, oh, this is a concern, I'm going, hey, look, I'm concerned about this, and just bringing it to their door and just saying, here's my thought process. Can we work on this? Let's get this sorted, rather than sitting on it. Another good example is I had a call with one of the academy members, Cal, and he's got someone who's dieting, and basically we came to the idea that, okay, we're going to have to drop this person further into the diet. He was like, it was either a case of we can leave things as is and continue dieting at a slower rate, or we can push and it's going to be quite hard, but we'll see a quicker rate of loss. And he was like, okay, so should I message them and say, hey, how are you finding the rate of loss? And I said, well, if you do that, you're then going to imply what they would like from their answer. I would rather just ask the question. Instead of saying to someone, oh, what about this? And then from their answer, you're like, okay, I think they would prefer this, and making the judgment for them. Just say, hey, look, we're dieting. We're losing 200-300 grams a week. And that's great. We can go faster, but here's what that looks like, and here's what that might feel like. What do you think we should do? Either answer is fine, and just bring it to the client. So I think, again, the main thing that I do more now as a coach that I didn't used to do is, rather than trying to read between the lines and work with implication and kind of keeping like a barrier between me and clients, if I'm thinking something, I'll just tell you what I'm thinking. So, hey, I think that you should stop doing this. I don't think this is a good idea. Or, hey, I'm kind of stuck between whether we do A or B. Do you have a preference? And again, that involves the client much, much more, rather than guessing what's going on. If someone's not communicating, I don't go, oh, I guess I hope they check in. I'll go, well, hey, you're not communicating. Come on, let's work on that. Everyone else is. Why aren't you? What's the barrier? What's the issue? We come to check in. You're bringing me these issues. Why didn't you tell me on the day? What's the issue there? And again, that goes a lot further, a lot better.
I really like that. That's probably something. I mean, I do that, but I think I should do that more as well. Like, that's probably, I can find I can relate to that so much, because I used to do that, and now I'm catching myself not doing it. So yeah, I mean, we got one good one from all three of us there, to be fair.
Mate, the majority of like the things that I talk to or ask younger coaches always comes down to it will be asking a reason of like, why does your client want to do this? And they go, I guess. And I go, no. Like, if someone tells me I've got a client who wants to diet and they're struggling to diet, and I say, why do they want to diet? And they go, I guess. Nope. You don't know the answer. You're guessing. You're making an assumption. There should be no assumptions made. I don't want to see any assumptions when it comes to like psychology. If someone says, hey, why does a client want to get leaner? You should go, because they said XYZ, because XYZ. You should be able to quote them on it. And the same thing with like, whenever people have bad check-ins, they'll be like, oh, I'm worried this client's going to do this, or something's going to happen. I'm worried my client's going to go on holiday and fuck up. Okay, well, tell the client. Have you told them? Why do you think that is? Just tell them. Like, don't play this game of weird cat and mouse. Like, just go directly to them and be like, hey, look, I think you're going to overeat on holiday. Maybe let's put a plan in place. Is that all good with you? You know, or even you can just say, hey, I think you'd benefit from us having a plan in place for your holiday. What do you think? But yeah, coaches often keep a weird barrier between themselves and their clients. Just share your insight. There's no shame in it.
Yeah, I like that. Makes sense. There's nothing bad about being honest. Yeah, obviously some people are context dependent though. This isn't like a one saying goes, to be fair. That's the thing. That's where you use the judgment, right? But to be fair, most people are going to want an honest thing. That's why they're coming to someone who's like an authority figure, which is what a coach is. They want the insight. They want you to ask them questions. They don't want you just to assume, which is exactly what Jack said. So yeah, I mean, do we have more, or do you want to go to what makes a good client?
Let's go. Let's do what makes a good client, I think, and then we can wrap up on that. So, all right, and we'll go back around again. Kamel, you're up. I'm going to talk a little bit longer to give you some thinking time for like a few seconds. What makes a good client? Because we've not rehearsed this prior. Maybe we should have. How are you making it so quickly?
I've got a little remote. I've got a really good. This is actually this is like 50 quid, mate. It's mint. I think it was Kez. I asked Kez what camera he used for. Is it Kez? I actually don't know how to say it.
It's pronounced Kez.
Yeah. I asked what camera he used, and he literally replied to me instantly. I was like, "What? Aren't you on some posing calls? Like, what are you doing? Could be making more." No, I'm joking. Like, no.
More to give.
More to give, man. He should be posing his sleeve.
All right, sorry, Camille. Go on. Chat your shit. Speak your truth.
I don't want to go with the basic answer of like communication, accountability. So I'm gonna go with, I think I'm split between like drive or just knowing what they want. So
yes.
I think the biggest thing that I would want from a client when they come to me is I want a definitive answer of where they are now and where they want to get to. And I want a definitive answer of why they want to do it. Because as Jack said previously, psychology is so fucking important. And I need to know when I'm pushing you that what I can use as a tool to help motivate you. Because I think motivating your client is actually a skill as a coach that you learn to develop. And I think the whole mindset of like, oh yeah, well, the client doesn't know it bad enough, as some coaches use in the industry, I'm not going to use any names, is fucking stupid, because it's your responsibility as a coach to know why your client wants to achieve what they're achieving, and you use that as you put it on a stick and you prod them with it. You motivate them, basically. That's the analogy I'm going to use. So just knowing definitively why they're doing what they're doing, and to have a little bit of an ambition and drive, because that goes such a long way.
Yeah, that's mint.
Right.
I really like that. But you want me to go next? It's quite hard to come up with one that's like that's not just saying, "Oh, keep yourself accountable," or keep keep your client accountable, or like stuff like that. So I would go with oh shit, this is actually hard. When you communicate and you do things like that, you actually send through like check-ins and stuff like that. Make sure that you're being succinct and it's like as easy. This is such a small one, but make it sure it's like easy to read and literally so easy to interpret, right? Because with communication, especially with like lifestyle clients, per se, with communication being so almost like, it feels like it's mood based with a lot of people. So it feels like, when they're having a good day, they'll talk quite a lot. When they're thinking about it, they've got more stuff in their mind than just bodybuilding and stuff like that, right? And making sure that you are very succinct with your answers, and like not making me have to ask way more questions. That should be it shouldn't be me like having to like Camille said, like prod them with a stick almost, like it shouldn't be, because you might end up waiting a day or two for a response, which is just not good enough. And then them same people will be like, oh, I'm not getting the progress I want. And it's like, well, I know it seems like a small thing, but communicating more would help. But I know that was one that was pressure that I pressured myself into to try and say, but I feel like that is very like just communicating effectively rather than just that, just communicating. You've got to actually, be succinct with your answers and not have a shit ton of follow-up questions, basically. That's probably one of mine.
I think the best quality in a client is to be process driven rather than outcome driven. I think if you that's such a bar, goddamn. I think that if you if you can like if you can disconnect, like, so this kind of, to be fair, kind of relates to like what I was talking to Camizzle over here about this morning. But Camizzle, that's his name. For, bro? We got Matizzle, Jizzle.
Jizzle, jeez.
Yeah,
more to give.
Young Jizzle, bro. Young Jizzle, more to give. Let's go. Fucking Jizzle _Archer Academy. Right. Anyway, so yeah, I think because this process of bodybuilding or like physique development is always slow. It's always incredibly slow. The quickest that it gets is dieting and rapid dieting. That's where things are like the most fun. But even then, that's where people are most likely to skew themselves. So in an off season, it's very, very, very slow. You barely notice it. You more so look back and go, hey, you used to be smaller. And they're like, yeah, I used to be smaller. And you're like, well, I guess that means you're bigger now. That's crazy. In a diet, you're going to see like good week to week transformations and pictures, but it's easy to go overboard with pursuit of that and just kill yourself. And then it's also easy to get complacent with that and get looser. And I think when you have a feeling of like things are going well, that really makes people push one way or the other of like dialing in or getting completely pushed off and like sink or swim, basically. And I would much rather someone who is, as much as you can, because you feel like you have to be excited by the process and like but you have to be excited by the outcome, but someone who just enjoys the doing for the doing. And that's one thing that I'm trying to do myself as a client for Tim. And regardless of like whatever he wants me to do, I will just be like, okay, that is the plan. So at the minute, I'm trying to find the joy of nailing the sessions, the cardio, the food, the salts, the water, the rehab, making sure that I get like my one rest day of cardio in as well, making sure that I'm doing the HIIT exactly as he's prescribed, the lists exactly as he's prescribed, making sure that like my reps are very intense but also very intentional. Again, just like trying to enjoy that process of it, because kind of like what Luke posted about today, that almost drives the best outcome. And the more that you focus on the process rather than like, I spend less time looking in the mirror and more time looking at my calendar of like what I'm going to do, that tends to be the time where I see my physique improve the most.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's. I don't know about you guys, but I have this conversation with a lot with clients, where they always come to me with like a goal weight in mind, and I instantly ask them why, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's just a nice number to go to," or it's like, "Oh, I think I'll look good there," and it's like, what happens if you get to that weight and you don't like how you look? Like, what's going to change? You might absolutely, you might hate that. Why don't you just focus on the process and then just see where it leads you? Exactly. I really like what Jack said there.
Yeah, I think it's very like easily done, and it's something that definitely me personally, I've been the worst for it in the past, and self-coaching did help me kind of get through a little bit of it. But yeah, it's definitely something that like I've kind of had to learn that like, or basically like all roads lead to Rome in a way. Like you're still going to like your physique will still progress, things will still get better. The more that I try and go, oh, I'm in the cusp of something, let's chase it, the more that like works against me, whether it's like strength targets or volume targets or body weight targets, up or down. As soon as I then start to get ahead of myself, that's where things go badly. It's like, oh, okay, food is like 200 carb. Let's just fucking pull it. Let's just do carbless because that's easier. Like, I'll have lower hunger signaling. So let's just do that. And it's like, no, what you need is this. And the same for like, if I'm pushing up, I've fucked push-ups previously by being like, oh, I'm close to 220. Let's push to 220. And it's like, you shouldn't have done that. That was outside your scope. Or I'm close to this cool number. Let's push to that. And then it's like, you get injured. I think the best thing you can do is like, again, just enjoy, like, I'm lifting 137.5 kilos for 7.5 reps, and it's not an even number, but I'm just enjoying that I'm doing that, and I'm going to aim to beat that. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why people change. It's like exactly what you said. Why change the thing that's working just to hit a number? It just doesn't make sense. Like you're just putting yourself in a bigger position to fuck it up. Like when was that ever good?
It's easily done though. I think
it is. Yeah.
We all bodybuild because we enjoy the outcome of it. Like, I enjoy the process of bodybuilding, but I fucking love the outcome too. Like, I wouldn't still be bodybuilding if I didn't see any progress at all. So it's like that does drive you and motivate you, and that's why like posing is fun. So it's one of those things where it's a hard mindset to get into, but the more that you can, the more reward you'll earn.
Yeah. I completely agree. I mean, like I do what you do now, Jack. Get up. I've done it for a while now. Get up and do steps in the morning, not because it obviously counts towards my step goal, and I wouldn't hit my step goal otherwise because I'm a lazy shit and sit on my computer all day. I'm not lazy, I do work. But like I wouldn't hit that step goal. But it also, I enjoy knowing that I've done that, and I don't have to worry about it anymore throughout the day as well is one thing that I found and to be quite nice. And it's just quite nice getting out for a walk, to be fair, funny enough. I'll sometimes do feedback on the walk, I'll sometimes won't. I'll sometimes just sit there and enjoy it. So yeah, pretty good. I enjoy it.
Love it. All right. Let's fucking wrap up there. Me and Matt have yapped. So Camille, do the little wrap up thing. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up for me.
Wrap it up, bro. All right, you know where to find us. Camille_Archer Academy on Instagram. Jack or Unks_Archer Academy. And then Natty.
Jizzle. It's Jizzle, mate.
Jizzle. We've been through this.
Yeah, Natty_Archer Academy if you want to work with Natty, if you're obviously Natty. What else do we have? Do I need to shout out? Oh yeah, coaching in my bio. DM me the word get shredded or something.
DM me the word Jizzle to get a free 3-month coach.
DM me the word Jizzle, and that's something else. Don't worry about it. YouTube, Spotify. Yeah, like this is a great. We love every time we CTA. We CTA. It's like the most like half-assed. Raina's gonna be like, "How many people are you pulling off the pod?" We'll be like, "None," because we just don't try. Anyway, if you guys want to get big and learn things, then I guess message us. If you don't, then don't message us. Fuck off. God. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.